I want to do some kind of intro for these videos. Let me see. Hey y'all, Taco here. No, hold on. Hello, I'm Taco Draws. I remember it so you don't... Ooh, this isn't working. Greetings, mortals. Nah, that's no good. I'll come up with something later. The Homestar Runner web series is probably the most well-known and beloved internet franchise of all time, but there's a lot of history and a lot of lore that some people, even the average fan, may not know about. And since the trend of iceberg videos are so popular, or at least they were when I started writing this script, and then a whole bunch of real life shit happened, I got really into animating and streaming, and that kind of drew my attention away for a while, then I got all depresso for a few months, and then, when I finally planned on reading the script, I caught fucking COVID and had to delay it for a while until I could speak properly. I decided to see if I could find a Homestar Runner Iceberg, and luckily I did. This one was made by Reddit user Kindlypatrick and posted 10 months ago. How long have I been working on this video? If you don't know, which I'm sure you do by now, an iceberg chart is a way of conveying well-known and not so well-known information about a certain subject. At the top, you get stuff most fans know about, but the general public might not. And at the bottom, you get the obscure, often creepy, and sometimes even disturbing stuff. So let's take a look at the Homestar Runner Iceberg together and see what we can learn. DNA evidence was a running gag and eventually a short. Basically, in some shorts, mostly females, a character would make a passing reference to DNA evidence. For example, in one short, Marzipan mentions that she believes the DNA evidence has been tampered with. In another, Strong Badia admits to the cheat that he tampered with it himself. This was all a running gag, until a short called DNA Evidence was released, with Strong Sad piecing together the whole puzzle. It was almost a mini ARG, but not really. The main page of the Homestar Runner website has different variations depending on which number you click at the bottom of the page. If you click at the end of the copyright date, a main page featuring Homestar and Homestar's place will appear. This is one of the many Easter eggs Homestar Runner is famous for. Marshmallow's Last Stand was an early Homestar short created in 1999. It was actually the first ever full-length cartoon ever created by the Brothers chaps, and has since been removed from the website, as it's nowhere near the quality of the other shorts on the site. The short is about Strong Bad and Strong Mad stealing Homestar's star from his shirt, and challenging him and Pom Pom to a tag team match in order to win it back. It's not particularly funny, but it's an interesting look into Homestar's past. Lappy Napped was a kind of short released after a Speemail, in which Strong Bad's laptop computer, the Lappy, was stolen. The short is a still image of a missing person sign for the Lappy, and features audio of people calling into Strong Bad's answering machine to give him information. Or just to waste his time. It was removed after the Lappy was found in the next Speemail. Weekly fan stuff was a thing on the website to showcase stuff sent in by fans every week. Pretty self-explanatory. Usually this consisted of fan art or other projects, like a stop-motion video made with the Cheat Commandos figurines, or a level created in Little Big Planet. Eventually the update slowed down until October 2009, when it was updated for the last time with a Homestar Runner-shaped door knocker. In 2014, the picture was updated to celebrate its 5-year anniversary. No 10-year in 2019 though. Stinkoman 20xd6 was the game on the website based on the anime version of Strong Bad, Stinkoman, and heavily inspired by Mega Man. The game was well received, and levels were updated periodically, with level 10 being the last one in December of 2020, ironically a few days before the Flash version of the game would no longer be playable, due to Windows dropping Flash support. Although the HTML version is still up. Honestly, I would love it if they put this game on Steam or something, like what Innersloth did with Henry Stickmin. 404 was an error page that would appear whenever the wrong file name was typed into the Homestar Runner domain. It's based on the Teen Girl Squad series, depicting the ugly one getting attacked by arrows, while Strong Bad shouts, 404'd. It was later replaced with the Neon version in 2018. Since Homestar doesn't have any arms but he can pick stuff up, it's widely accepted that he does in fact have arms, they're just invisible. This theory is also propagated by a short where Homestar wears a jacket, and the sleeve moves when he lifts something. Since other characters like the King of Town and Marzipan also don't have visible arms, it's speculated they also have invisible limbs of some kind. Anyone else get an Elfin Lied flashbacks? The Poopsmith is one of the few silent characters in Homestar Runner, but he does have the ability to speak. He's just taken a vow of silence for unknown reasons. However, this vow was broken on some occasions, the first being when he sung the opening for the 200th Speemail. During these times, his voice is provided by John Linnell, the lead singer of They Might Be Giants. The Brothers Chaps and They Might Be Giants have collaborated on multiple projects, so this isn't too much of a shock. It's still pretty sick though. I'm actually a big fan of They Might Be Giants. Technically, this secret short remains unnamed, but it's widely known as Where the Crap Are We, due to Strong Bad's dialogue in the short. It was an Easter egg in the Macromedia Central computer program released in 2004, which could be accessed by typing SPEmail into a password box. The short depicts Homestar and Strong Bad in a mysterious blue space, trying to figure out where they are. Eventually, Homestar suggests that they're in heaven, but upon realizing this means he's stuck talking to Homestar for eternity, Strong Bad deduces that is definitely not the case. Strong Bad's Cool Game for Attractive People was a game based on Strong Bad and the Homestar Runner site as a whole, developed by Telltale Games. Yeah, that Telltale Games. This was long before The Walking Dead and Wolf Among Us. Fun fact, I remember the first Telltale game I ever played being their game based on the Bone graphic novel. Does anyone else remember that? I digress. During the development of the game, the Telltale website had a regularly updated dev blog run by Strong Bad, talking about the development of the game as well as whatever games he was playing at the time. There was also some crudely drawn concept art and a playable demo created in Flash. I actually remember checking it for updates when I was a kid, since I was incredibly excited for the game. Videlectrix is a fictional game company in the Homestar Runner universe. Their logo appears before all the games on the website, and they were listed as a secondary developer for Strong Bad's Cool Game for Attractive People. They also had a website that was created to promote the games, but it's no longer accessible due to Flash being disabled. The Brothers Chaps are no stranger to Mario Paint, which was an SNES game that allowed the users to create images and animations. This entry most likely refers to the first ever Homestar Runner animation, which was in fact made using Mario Paint in 1996. It was released on the site under the name Super NES, and depicts Homestar doing various things. It's pretty simple, but to be fair, there's not much you can do in Mario Paint. Strong Bad's catchphrase is, of course, holy crap. Because of this, many people who send him emails usually end it with crapfully yours or something along those lines. Its first appearance was in the SPEmail Butt IQ. This trend clearly annoys Strong Bad, as he comments on it on a later email, telling his viewers they are not required to sign their emails that way.
It's not required that you sign your email crapfully yours, or with a bunch of crap, or crap in the time, or crap is so great, everything is crap. My middle name is Crapperson. You know, you could just put sincerely.
In another email, he sighs frustratedly before reading it out, and in another email, he sarcastically remarks, totally not getting old, as he reads it. Senor Having a Little Trouble, or just Senor, is a character from the original Homestar Runner children's book. He appears as a blue blob with beady eyes and stick arms. He only appears in shorts that reference the book and isn't a mainstay character. Another error page, this one predates the earlier Teen Girl Squad one. In it, a stylized Strong Bad would mock you for reaching a page that doesn't exist. Pretty basic, but it's something not many people would see. The Limousine Coloring Book was a coloring book created by Strong Bad's favorite band, Limousine. The full title is The 1989 Limousine Ladies Were Staying in Room 302 at the Ramada Tour Coloring Book. That's hilarious. The book came with crayons and a cassette with a song about coloring. The only appearance of this book was in the SPEmail Coloring, and as an Easter egg you could download and print the book for yourself. The sequel to the original children's book that inspired Homestar Runner was planned but never released. It was going to be called Homestar Runner Goes for the Gold. While several ideas and sketches were made public, the project never became anything until 2016, when a short based on the book was released to celebrate Homestar's 20th anniversary. 'Tis True Pom Pom 'Tis True was an unfinished cartoon. In it, Homestar gets amnesia and believes himself to be in medieval times. The short doesn't have a proper ending, and instead ends somewhat abruptly with Mike Chapman reading out what would have happened had it been finished. Also of note, the short was made before Missy Palmer became Marzipan's voice actor, so she's voiced by Matt Chapman, who voices everyone else. This is the only short where Marzipan isn't voiced by Missy.
What the crap was that?
Podstar Runner was a collection of Homestar Runner cartoons made available for download, intended to be played on iPods. The service was discontinued in 2007, before being brought back in 2008, before being discontinued again in 2009. The Podstar versions of cartoons also added intros and outros based on the iPod menu. The 2006 ones resemble the 5th gen iPod menu, with the 2008 ones resembling the iPod Touch and iPhone menus. This one I don't know about, and I couldn't find any information about it either. I'm assuming there were some Strong Bad emails created before the first one that were never released, but if so, I've never seen them, so moving on. Poot Slap is a rap song that appears in the background of some Homestar shorts. It was performed by the band 3D, which consisted of Mike and Matt Chapman, or the Brothers Chaps, and 3 other unknown members. The song appears multiple times on the website and was available to download from the download section. There was also a more vulgar version that was released before the website's creation, but we'll get into that later. This refers to a secret short that appeared after the Spemail virus. In that email, Strongbad's computer at the time, the Compy, gets a virus and must be destroyed. And since the menu to select Spemails is based on Strongbad's computer, the menu instead just appeared on a piece of paper taped to the broken machine. However, the menu also doubled as a short where Homestar and Bubs haggle over the price of said broken computer.
Who are you just talking to?
Strong, Mad,
Where'd he go?
Bubsy, I'm not gonna lie to you. He flew away.
Homestar, did you come up here for a reason?
Freedom?
What?
The short was taken down in 2004 when Strongbad acquired the Lappy, and while a mirror still exists, the original short is most likely lost as Flash is no longer supported. This is another one I couldn't find any information on, but I assume it's a theory that since Homestar originally spoke in full sentences before having a weight dropped on his head, and ever since has spoken in mostly gibberish, he suffers from some kind of brain injury. I mean, I guess that makes sense, but then again I found no information on this, so I could be wrong. In the Spemail theme song, Homestar is shown to have a full set of teeth when he opens his mouth to bite a sandwich made of light bulbs. Also, in the Spemail dictionary, Strongbad throws a dictionary at Homestar's face, knocking his tooth out. So, yeah, Homestar has teeth. Trivia Time was a planned character who never made it into a cartoon. Well, kind of. Originally, he was meant to be Pom Pom's dog, but the Brothers Chaps couldn't settle on a design. However, a cookie jar based on a sketch of Trivia Time appeared in a few cartoons, including one where Pom Pom enters him in a pet show. The Homestar Runner shorts have had some DVD releases over the years, including some Strongbad email collection DVDs. Some of them include exclusive emails that were never seen before, and only appeared on the DVDs. There are 6 in total, as well as a puppet short called Real Life Emails. You can of course watch all of these on YouTube now, but back in the day, buying the DVDs yourself was the only way to watch them. Grundy is an enemy in Stinkoman 2066. I couldn't find any information about cool Grundy, but I mean, he kinda looks like he's wearing sunglasses. That's pretty cool. Strongsad's Lament was a blog supposedly created by Strongsad. It could be accessed from Strongbad's website, which could be accessed from the Spemail website as an Easter egg. Strongsad posted his depressing thoughts occasionally starting in 2002. After a long hiatus, resumed posting regularly in 2003, before going back on hiatus. Another post appeared in 2004, and then after one more hiatus, the final post appeared in 2005. References to the blog appeared throughout the website. What's interesting is that this blog kinda predicted stuff like Tumblr. Strongsad even made his own self-insert OC, Sadie Dumpington, who would later appear in a short called Folky Tale. Happy Tea was a weird sign thing that appeared on the site in Thanksgiving 2002. It said Happy Tea, obviously, and clicking each letter would play a soundbite of Homestar, Marzipan, Strongbad, Bubs, Strongsad, Coach Z, Strongmad, and Homsar saying Happy Tea. It was on the main page for that Thanksgiving, but has never appeared since. This short was created as an intro for the Field Day Music Festival, which was held at Giant Stadium in New Jersey in June 2003. The concert featured the Beastie Boys and Radiohead among some other bands, and Strongbad shorts would play in between sets. The intro shows Strongbad greeting the audience and introducing the next band.
Okay, since they wouldn't let me on stage, and since the ladies demanded it, I give you, for 2 years running, the #1 jam of the summer!
Also, apparently the event was a bit of a disaster, but this video isn't about that. If I Ran the Camera was an early creation of the Brothers Chaps, and isn't related to Homestar at all. It was a poem written by the sister of Mike and Matt Chapman, and depicts their niece and dad in a slideshow to accompany it. Originally it was meant to be a Father's Day gift, and it's pretty cute and wholesome. It was on the website but never linked anywhere, and was removed in 2003 when fans discovered it. Clearly it was meant to be more of a personal thing. This one's another fan theory. Basically, Coach Z is very clearly mentally unwell. A lot of his appearances depict his odd behavior and speech impediment, and he's implied to be homeless and is shown to drink non-specific mouthwash regularly. And since Strongbad usually refers to him as an old man, I'm assuming he may have some kind of dementia. I don't really know much about this theory, but it's interesting to think about. Super Brave was an update posted in 2003, showing a Japanese elementary school class where the kids had drawn pictures of Homestar Runner. If you scroll over the kids, a Homestar-style drawing of the kid appears. The update was renamed a couple days later to These Kids Rule. This is hella cute and makes me wonder where these kids ended up. The Ungreats were unused characters meant to be villains in some way or another. They were at one point considered to be the henchmen of Blue Laser in the Cheat Commandos cartoon, or in the main canon, in a scenario where Strong Bad and Homestar team up to stop them after they freeze all the other characters. Oddly enough, this plot was reworked into the Halloween short Ghibli's 2. Eventually, they appeared alongside some other unused characters in the cartoon A Decemberween Mackerel. The Secrets That I Keep was a cartoon, kind of, that can be found on StrongSad's blog. Basically, it was a box of memories kept under StrongSad's bed that you can interact with. It contained a birthday card written by a younger Strongbad, a home movie of the two as kids, a snow globe, and a picture of young Strongbad and StrongSad. It's oddly sentimental, and it's kinda sad to see them getting along as kids, knowing what a jerk Strongbad is to StrongSad now. This doesn't actually refer to the main website. It refers to a personal website created by Homestar. Basically, it shows a blurry picture of him with some green text over top. It appears as an Easter egg in the Speedmail 2 Years, and later appeared as Homestar's dating profile in the short Flash is Dead. Kick the Cheat was a game meant to advertise the now discontinued plush toy version of the Cheat. An image of the toy drops down from a robotic arm, and you have to kick it with a giant robotic foot. Yeah, it's barely a game. The Yearbook is an early version of the character bio page. Each of the characters appears as a portrait in the book, and clicking them opens their biography. The back of the book also has stereotypical yearbook signatures from some of the characters. Onion Bubs. Onion Bubs?! Onion Bubs was a temporary version of Bubs after original Bubs quit the website. This story is of course fabricated by Strongbad, and the character has appeared in other shorts. He's just an onion with Bubs' face drawn on it, but was apparently a fan favorite, with his mere appearance resulting in cheering and applause, as he heard earlier. Preshy and Rafferty were unused characters meant to be Homestar's cousins. They appeared in an unfinished cartoon called Those Darn Cousins, where they call Homestar their uncle for some reason, and in the cartoon they constantly torture and abuse him by various means. They're also voiced by kids, most likely the brothers Chap's nieces, since they often appear on the website.
What's this thing? What does this do?
I think that's obvious.
I'm gonna bonk you, Homestar.
Like the Ungreats, they appear in A Decemberween Mackerel. Cupid Dan is a name on Strongbad's list of people to pelt with eggs in a Halloween cartoon. Clicking on the name brings up a sketch of someone apparently named Cupid Dan. The name Dan also appears in other places in Homestar cartoons, but this is the only time Cupid Dan is mentioned specifically. The exact same is a puppet who looks suspiciously like Homestar. He first appears on the puppet theme main page, where after Puppet Homestar asks who he is, he says, "Well, I am the exact same." Supposedly the puppet itself is an early version of Puppet Homestar. The message board was a fan forum that was on the Homestar Runner site until 2003. It allowed fans to discuss Homestar content and chat with each other, and that's about it. When the site began getting more popular, the Brothers Chaps created a newer, more advanced version of the message board, which was shut down within the first day due to so many people posting on it at once. There were some Easter eggs built into the site as well, which we'll get to later on. Every year, the Brothers Chaps post a Halloween-themed cartoon where the characters dress as other characters or figures from pop culture. Some unused costumes appeared in a secret page that could be accessed in an Easter egg on the Halloween tune The House That Gave Sucky Treats. The costumes are mostly the same, with 3 differences. Coach Z is dressed as the Noid, Pom Pom is dressed as the Skipper from Gilligan's Island, and Marzipan is dressed as Velma from Scooby-Doo.
Need any help on this one? I mean, I did talk about Scooby-Doo video games for about an hour and a half once. I'm something of an expert myself.
No, we're all good here. Thanks anyway, Mistress Dove from the Mistress Dove YouTube channel.
Alright then, your loss. Ta-ta.
Yeah, I gotta start locking my door. Anyway, there are also some unused costumes that were posted in the sketchbook section of the website. Personally, my favorite is Homestar dressed as Hellboy. It's completely out of character and I love it. Some of the downloadable items from the download section of the website are no longer available. 2 of these are desktop themes for Windows 98 based on Strongbad and Homestar. They are both pretty similar, with Homestar or Strong Badia's voices replacing some of the audio, and desktop backgrounds with repeating patterns of the Homestar Runner logo or a Strong Badia logo. An updated version of both are made available to download from an April Fool's cartoon in 2014, but again, they only work on Windows 98, so most people probably wouldn't be able to use them.
Hello, stupid, and welcome to your crappy computer.
Welcome to Windows 98. Why are you still using Windows 98?
In one of the Halloween cartoons, the King of Town dresses up as Mario. Clicking on him at the end activates an Easter egg game called Super Kingio Bros. It's a parody of the first level of Super Mario, but instead he plays the King of Town, who can't really move so good. It's impossible to progress past the first level as he can't even jump over a Goomba. This refers to some of the unused dialogue found in the files for the game Strong Badia's Cool Game for Attractive People. It's mostly just alternate dialogue for stuff that was already included in the game, or some of the fake emails that got cut from the game. It's not super interesting, to be honest. These two are some unused characters. Champion did make it to the website, being in the background of the Dancin' Bubs game, along with her brother Homeschool Winner. Interestingly enough, both characters bear a striking resemblance to Homestar, with Homeschool's name being a direct parody. The Hurricane, on the other hand, never made it into a cartoon. She was prepped for animation, but quickly abandoned because the brothers' chaps were too distracted by Legend of Zelda Wind Waker coming out. Their words, not mine. Dangeresque Roomisode 1 was a point-and-click game on the Homestar website, developed to coincide with the Dangeresque episode of Strong Badia's Cool Game for Attractive People. It was reminiscent of LucasArts and Sierra point-and-click games, only taking place in one room, hence the name. In 2018, it was revealed a second episode was being worked on, but eventually scrapped for unknown reasons. It would have taken place in a city intersection rather than a room, and the goal would have been to defuse a bomb in a car. I couldn't actually find anything about this one. There's a lot of Homestar Runner merch out there. I assume some of it just never got a proper release. If you know what this is about, please leave a comment. Thorax Corporation is a fake company made by the Brothers chaps. It's along the same lines as Videlectrics and Cheap is Free. There's an actual website for the company you can access as an Easter egg in the game Fortune Cookies. There's other references to the company throughout the site, including an April Fool's Day cartoon called Under Construction and the In-Universe Peasant's Quest movie being produced by them. Also, the songs Because It's Midnight and Moving Very Slowly were at one point downloadable through the website. Both songs appear on the Strong Badia Sings album. You could also download the more vulgar version of Poot Slap, the song I mentioned earlier on the Iceberg. The Cheat Smoking Challenge was a game accessible through the message board. It's an Atari-style game where you play as the cheat and pick up nicotine gum to help you quit smoking. Yeah, that's all, let's move along. The Homestar Runner RPG was going to be an official video game developed for Atari 2600. For real. It was planned to be released in 2014, but due to the scope of the project, the demo alone was barely finished by 2006, and it was eventually abandoned in 2008. Only one screenshot of the title screen has ever been released, and very little is known about the game itself. Okay, this one I know very little about since the title's so vague, but what I think it's referring to is the tutorial for the game Strong Badia's Cool Game for Attractive People, which was released on the Wii. Again, leave a comment if you know anything more about this. So, I don't know why this is so low on the iceberg, but Papa Cardgage's Puddin' Patch is a shady daycare from the Speedmail episode License. It's a creepy concrete building with unlicensed versions of Strong Badia and the cheat painted on it, and run by the intensely creepy Sonor Cardgage. Again, I'm not sure why it's here. If you know, please leave a comment. Okay, this one's gonna need some explaining. Basically, after Speedmail 200, they went on a bit of a hiatus. In the meantime, Homestar took over with his HR emails, or Hremails. Allegedly, he'd been making them for years without Strong Badia's knowledge. In Speedmail 200, he mentions a 49th episode of his Hremail show involving a pillow fight. As an Easter egg, you can actually watch this episode, or at least a clip from it, which shows Homestar being pelted by pillows while girls giggle in the background.
Whoa, ladies, gold. Take it easy. What do you think this is? Email 24?
Now this email, he mentioned Email 24, and if we access that one, we see this screen. So clearly this episode was a little too hot for airing. I wasn't convoluted at all. Oh boy, more convoluted explanations. Okay, so Taran was a girl who participated in the Strong Badia message board, and because it's hard to believe a girl would actually use an internet forum in 2003 or whatever, A lot of people asked her to post a picture, which she eventually did. Someone, I'm assuming the Brothers chaps, used the picture in a rudimentary Flash game, similar to the kick the cheat one I mentioned earlier, where you kick the picture over and over until it breaks. I don't get it, but I guess you just had to be there. This was a weird music video that was featured on a secret page of the Videlectric site, featuring a clip from the song Home by Lou Barlow. I'm thinking it was unfinished. We'll talk more about this kind of thing later. Now this one I remember vividly. Every Halloween from 2004 to 2009, a special page was put up on the web where you can download stencils of Homestar Runner imagery to carve as a jack-o'-lantern. In 2007, the site was updated to show all the pumpkins on a conveyor belt, and when you click on it, the cheat will come down and gnaw a stencil into it before a download link would show up. In 2009, the page was updated again, now with Homestar saying something about each stencil. I did the Strong Bad one many times as a kid. In fact, I actually dressed as Strong Bad one Halloween. God, I wish I had pictures. These were stickers created in Strong Bad's likeness based on a famous Andre the Giant sticker design. They were originally available to download from the website. Technically, they were the first physical product ever created for Homestar Runner, and as such are a huge piece of its history. And I happen to print a few out myself. This was another secret page featuring a picture of a cake in the shape of a tire. What the fuck was going on with the Brothers chaps in 2003? Homestar Runner actually predates YouTube, by like a lot. But when YouTube was first starting out, the Brothers chaps decided to create a channel for themselves, but instead of naming it after themselves or the Homestar website, they named it after one of their characters, Teague Dougland, the manager of the fictional band Limousine. The only videos uploaded were some footage of a live performance by Limousine, who are really just the Brothers chaps and some of their friends in blonde wigs. The channel is actually still up today. So in one of the Halloween cartoons, Marzipan takes a picture of Strong Sad, but he doesn't show up in it, leading to her concluding that he's dead since he can't take pictures of ghosts, to which he seems a little too happy. Yeah, that's it. Another animated music video, this one for the song Brand of Skin by the New Folk Implosion. I guess a lot of indie music artists were commissioning the Brothers chaps to animate music or something. Upon finding this music video, I immediately downloaded the song on Spotify because it slaps real hard. Some of the cartoons on the site have Easter eggs you'd never be able to see normally. The only way to find them is to download the Flash file and watch it off-site. This allows you to see things the Brothers chaps never wanted you to see, like Homestar standing off-screen with a mustache, or during a scene where Strong Bad shows a picture of his parents that was obscured to the viewer, the photo instead displays the text, "Nice try, Dodongo." That's an enemy from Legend of Zelda. This one I mentioned before. Homeschool Winner was a planned character who never made it into the main cast. Originally, like I said, he was the brother of Champine, and resembled Homestar but with an extreme overbite. He was planned to be a creepy nerd and a Weasley know-it-all. He actually did appear on the site a few times, in the Dancin' Bubs game, a Decemberween mackerel, and his skull appears buried under Strong Badia, which is more than a little disturbing. In the Speemail where Sonore Card Gauge is first introduced, Strongsad claims he lived across the street from them when he and Strongbad were kids, and that he gave him nightmares. Strongsad also typically appears uncomfortable or frightened whenever Card Gauge is nearby. What exactly Card Gauge did to traumatize Strongbad is never stated, but it's more so implied that his overall creepy vibe is what scared him. Homestar is famously unable to speak normally unlike the other characters in the series, but this theory states his unusual speech is actually code words. I don't know where this theory comes from, especially since we see two other explanations for his speech in a Marzipan's answering machine and in Strongbad's school game for attractive people, but sure, whatever. Okay, so I thought this one was a joke, but I think it's actually referring to the fact that in Strongbad's school game for attractive people, the whale will actually give you gameplay hints. These hints are fairly cryptic and blend in with the other weird nonsense it says, but I think that's what it's referring to. I mean, Bubs is a pretty shady character. He's seen doing some weird, usually illegal shit throughout the cartoons, including running a black market operation, disposing of evidence, copyright infringement, fraud, illegal dumping of toxic waste, debt evasion. Okay, he's pretty much done everything. The closest thing I could find to an actual criminal record was a list of his shady business practices on the Homestar Wiki. This one is slightly more well known now, but at one time the King of Town was meant to be Marzipan's dad, as it was written in an early character bio page. This plot point was dropped pretty quickly, until it was referenced again in a Marzipan's Answering Machine episode like 20 years later.
Hey, Marzipan! I don't really know how else to ask this, but, am I your dad? I was looking on the internet for marzipan glazed ham, and, I got some weird results that seemed to think that, at least at one time, you were my daughter?
The horrible painting is a creepy painting hidden in Strong Bad's closet. Anyone who sees it is inflicted with the Ghiblies, which makes them shake uncontrollably. According to the brothers Chaps, it was based off a painting a friend of theirs made in college, although in the real-life painting it's apparently a goblin, and in the Homestar cinematic universe, it's a demon. Free Country, USA is the place all the Homestar Runner cartoons take place. Where exactly it is on a map is heavily debated among fans, but considering the brothers Chaps live in Atlanta, which is in the southeast part of the US, it's safe to say they might base their fictional universe around the same part of the country. There's some evidence pointing to it and against it, but honestly, I'm way too tired of this video to do any more research. Stockholm Syndrome is a real condition in which a kidnapper or abuse victim begins to identify or sympathize with their captor. It's believed Strongsad may be experiencing this condition after dealing with Strongbad's abuse for so long. This was also referenced explicitly by Strongbad during a email about his fan club, the Delete Heads, of which Strongsad is in fact the president, which Strongbad describes as a chocolate-covered bit of Stockholm Syndrome-esque irony. The main menu of the website features Homestar stating the name of whatever option your mouse goes over, while random stuff happens in the background. On more than a few instances, the main page itself is referenced in some cartoons. Also, one of the main pages is a behind-the-scenes look at the set of a main page as it's being filmed, suggesting that all the main pages feature the actual in-canon Homestar, and the main pages are cartoon in and of themselves, where the events are actually happening. Yeah, okay. Corpophagia is the practice of consuming feces, which the King of Town has both been accused of and admitting to doing. That's disturbing. The Seriously Forks were revamped versions of the Homestar Runner cast, who first appeared in an April Fool's Day cartoon. They're meant to parody the trend of companies taking a popular franchise for kids and twisting it into something dark and edgy for an older demographic. Specifically, they seem to parody Lunatics Unleashed, a cartoon in which the Looney Tunes cast were reimagined as edgy superheroes. Well, actually it's their descendants from the future, but you get the idea. The jaggedy art style and needlessly edgy designs definitely seem to inspire the Seriously Forks a lot. Am I pronouncing that right? Mellow Mushroom is a real-life pizza restaurant chain in Georgia. The 2001 website was designed by the brothers Chaps and bears a striking resemblance to the Homestar site. They even made a single cartoon for them called The Sun Almost Rises, and a few games. I'm sure what happened was the Mellow Mushroom company saw Homestar Runner and wanted to create some kind of parody of it for their own site. It's so weird seeing the brothers Chaps style mixed with that corporate synergy art style. The site is also technically still up, but you can't access it without Flash now. It also directly name drops the brothers Chaps, which I think is funny. Homestar went through a bit of a personality change from his first cartoon until 2003. In his first appearance, he was an earnest, well-meaning, and likable goof who got into some trouble here and there, but after a while his character was flanderized into a complete idiot. This is the case for a lot of cartoon characters though, including some on the site itself. Strombat, for instance, went from being a villain to more of a cynical everyman. Marzipan went from loving Homestar to putting up with him. Bubs went from the guy who ran the concession stand to a criminal underlord, and Coach Z went from being a typical school sports coach to whatever he is now. So we're at the end of the iceberg, but there's still a lot of Homestar Runner trivia I'd like to talk about. So this part of the video we can call the chunk. Like a chunk of the iceberg broke off and is floating out to sea. Yeah, that works. The third episode of Strongbad's cool game for attractive people, Baddest of the Bands, got a live-action promotional video that was only up on the website for a short time. It's a parody of other promo videos for other real-life music festivals. It's not on the site anymore, or at least if it is, it's not accessible, but it came on the DVD for the game and also was uploaded to the Telltale Games YouTube channel, where it doesn't even have 10,000 views. I get more than that, come on guys. The Spin and Say was an early game on the site that allowed the player to hear quotes from the characters. It was initially based on the See and Say toy by Mattel, but after some legal disputes it was changed to a more square design with buttons, and renamed Who Said What Now. This is a cartoon that was only released on DVD as a bonus feature, a DVD I happen to own. The cartoon actually goes over a lot of things I just said, mostly about potential female characters who never made it into a real cartoon, like Champion and the Hurricane. The cartoon was eventually leaked onto YouTube of course, but the only official way to watch it was through the DVD. Talkin' Strongbad is a plush toy sold on Fangamer. It entered production in 2020 and could save 15 original voice clips when he presses diamond. Interestingly enough, one of his voice clips mentions a website called StrongBadAllTheTimeSoGreat.com, which is a real website separate from the HomestarRunner.com, which can only be accessed by a secret password, which is on the plush toy. I honestly didn't know that until I looked it up, which is strange because I myself own this plushie. Here's a picture of it on my desk. 2 songs from Homestar Runner have appeared in Guitar Hero games as bonus songs. Strong Bad's Trogdor appeared in Guitar Hero 2, while Limousine's Because It's Midnight appeared in Guitar Hero Rocks the 80s. This is because Alex Rogopoulos, the co-founder of Harmonix, is a huge Homestar fan. A Wii Guitar Hero guitar appeared in some live-action segments on the site as well. In 2019, musician Daniel Johnston passed away, and as a tribute, the Brother Chaps posted a video to the official Strong Bad Twitter. In the tribute, Strong Bad plays one of Johnston's songs, Some Things Last a Long Time, before breaking down in tears. It's a very touching and pretty tear-jerking tribute. You can tell the Brother Chaps were a huge fan of Johnston's work, and I have a feeling the crying at the end was genuine. In 2012, YouTube users Our Vanilla World created a 4-part fan film based on the Peasant's Quest game. It has no involvement from the Brother Chaps aside from the concept, but it's a pretty decent watch for Homestar Runner fans nonetheless. It's also pretty hilarious and very well done for a fan film. So there's a band called Aquabats, and they've collaborated with the Brothers Chaps and Homestar on a few occasions. Matt Chapman actually helped write and direct their show, The Aquabat Super Show, and appeared as a villain named Carl, who wears a mask suspiciously similar to Strong Bad's. Two More Eggs was a series of shorts created by the Brothers Chaps for Disney XD. Yes, these things actually aired on TV. While it's very different stylistically and tonally from Homestar, you can totally see the similarities. I've only seen one episode, and I wasn't really a fan, but it's cool to see them getting work outside of Homestar. Oh my god, it's finally over. Like I said, I started writing the script back when Iceberg videos were all over the place. I had no idea the amount of research and setbacks I'd have to go through to finish this, and that's just the script alone, but I'm glad I got through it. Homestar Runner means a lot to me. It's funny, inspiring, and probably the biggest reason I decided to give online content creation a chance. It was so cool looking back at all this stuff I had no idea about. Hope you learned something too. But for now, I gotta lie down. I think I'm coming down with something again. Uh-oh. Hey, I actually feel a lot better. Weird. What the f***? Special thanks to my amazing patrons: Pika Yuma, Oni Shark Media, Beans, Miss Jukebox 8, Dreaded Cypher, Michael P, Metal Mario 90, Wilson the Green, Nefarious 90, Luna Runa 21, Alpha Red, Francisco Martinez, Big Horny Bearded Dude, that's a great name by the way, Adman 227, Akumeri, I'm just gonna call you Aku, and Peachy. $3 and up patrons got to see this video early, and all patrons voted for this video to be made first. Also, special thanks to my buddy Mistress Dove. She does long-form video game reviews over on her channel, and I'd suggest you check her out. This video has been a super long time coming. It's probably the most work I've ever had to put into a video, and since I started working on it, this channel has blown up like crazy. We just got monetized, we hit 3,000 subs. I genuinely cannot thank you guys enough. If you want to see more content from me, you can check out my gaming channel, Taco Games, or you can check out my new channel, Taco Shorts, where I'll be uploading all my YouTube shorts from now on, along with some non-art videos I got planned. Also, you can check out my art on Twitter, become a supporter on Patreon, and read my webcomic Obsidian Blaze, all linked in the description below. Thanks again for watching, have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you next time.